Hello and welcome to the Learn Flute podcast. I'm Rebecca Fuller, the expert and instructor of the LearnFluteOnline.com memberships and online flute learning programs. Well, today's podcast is the 9 steps to becoming the flutist you want to be, part 2. Let's get going.
You can do it, and Rebecca will show you how, step by step all along the way. Introducing the Learn Flute podcast.
Well, let's jump right in today. The last episode was filled with motivating goodness, including the first 3 steps of 9. And today we're going to continue with 3 more. Now remember that the aim here at Learn Flute Online is to keep and help each and every one of you with your enthusiasm and motivation to keep learning to play the flute and to know fully that you can do it. I not only believe in you, but I believe in the process that I've set for you as well. Now let's quickly recap the first 3 points that we made in the last episode, which was number 61, right? Let's see, this is 62, yep. Well, the first was to focus always on just steadily improving. I think that people kind of get assuming that they'll be new for a minute and then jump right into being an expert overnight. Yeah, well, I'm here to tell you that that doesn't really happen. But when we focus on being consistent and steadily improving, then things happen. I don't know if you've ever heard one of my favorite quotes, but it is that people generally always overestimate what they can accomplish in a day and grossly underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. Write that one down and pin it on your bathroom mirror, because it's true. Just keep going. The second was to remember your why more often. Why did you initially decide to choose the flute as an instrument to learn to play? Did you hear someone else playing something so beautiful that it inspired you to get right out there and start learning? Is it maybe the shiny look and the feel of the instrument? Well, what is it? Just remembering often what it was that first started your little seed of desire is often enough to help you keep going, which brings us to number 3 step to becoming the flutist you want to be, and that is always finding the joy in the learning process. Now, once we understand that the learning process doesn't really ever end, then we can relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride. It's a fun one and full of new cool sounds and experiments. So much beauty and satisfaction awaits us. So let's get started today with number 4. Now, I think most students tend to lean towards one type of music or another. It's actually kind of interesting for me to see a unique style develop as someone learns. For example, some students just love to speed. Anything that pushes the envelope for tempo and speed. Something really fast just gets them revving and excited. And the faster a piece I assign them, the better for them. And then there are others who seem to gravitate towards the more slowy and flowy pieces, as I call them. They love to be able to just sit in the pocket of a piece and feel every moment. So sometimes the slower the better for them. Now, what I'm getting at here is that everyone tends to lean towards certain genres or styles, tempos, or any other musical aspect that gives it some uniqueness of its own. This, my friends, is cool, because the reason I say it's cool is because that's really what music and life is all about. We all have our thing, and if we can learn to really highlight that and celebrate ourselves, then the happier we are. Now, this doesn't really mean that we shouldn't learn about the other skills and styles that might not be our first choice. Practicing new skills will enhance every single part of music we play. And it does mean that we can really spend some time exploring and enjoying what we love and feel the most natural at, while still always improving and enjoying. Just some things to think about today. So number 4 is all about celebrating our uniqueness and finding opportunities and music styles that make us feel happy and fulfilled while we learn and enhance all of our other skills. Alrighty, number 5 is probably the step that I should have labeled number 1 because it's to find the foundations and lay it on thick. Now, what I mean by this is that we will never, ever be above practicing and tweaking the skills that it takes, that actually take us, I should say, to the higher levels. Even if we are on the higher level, for example, one of my students here in my studio the other day is just starting to learn an amazing, super advanced, really fast piece by Jeannin. Now, I love how she started picking it all apart and looked at it and started gushing to me all about the different chromatic and major scales that she found inside the piece. They were all marked as 30 seconds and 64th notes and were going to be played at light speed. Now, it was a definite payday for me that she pulled these out by herself and told me that she was so glad that she had been practicing these scales for years now, because that this was going to be quite a challenge. Yes, she will succeed, I have no doubt. And like the rest of us, she'll need to continue honing these basic fundamentals forever in order to sound fluent and awesome on the flute. Okay, let's move on to number 6, which is going to be all about finding great examples and studying them often. I had a really great cassette collection when I was in college. Yes, I just said cassette collection, and that lets you know my age. Although I think some of you probably had records or even 8-track collections also, which is super cool. Well, anyway, my collection was made up of some of the neatest music. I loved it all so much, and every time my roommates were out, I put on some of my newfound loves and I cranked it up loud. I worked hard on really feeling the music. I let it permeate into my soul, literally, and I guess it could sound a little cheesy, but honestly, I let it right into my being. I actually credit these days to my long life in the music industry because, as many professionals can attest, once the music gets inside you, it never leaves. We're so lucky to live in a digital age now where we can basically just call up any artist or composer with a few touches of a button, and we can put it on repeat even all day long without even having to hit rewind. Well, that's something certain generations understand and are definitely grateful that we don't have to go back. So for our quick review for today, we see that number 4 was to celebrate the uniqueness inside us and use that to explore what we love and hear and play. Number 5 is to recognize the fundamentals, use them as a base foundation that we will constantly build upon. And number 6 is to watch and listen to great examples for inspiration. Whew, well, that was fun. I'm glad we're doing this. I doubt we can ever talk about too many things to help us become better at what we're striving to do, which in this case is learning how to play the flute really well. I'm Rebecca Fuller saying adios for this episode, and I'll see you in the next one where we will wrap up this discussion of the 9 steps to becoming the flutist you want to be. Bye now.
Thanks for listening today. Remember that this is where people of all ages, such as you, can come, learn, and play the musical instrument flute in an easy-to-follow, organized manner, and in the privacy and comfort of your own home, on your own schedule.